Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very 21st episode of Roll20 Presents Tomb of Annihilation. Today, I'll be joined by my favorite Dungeons & Dragons supplement, Scotch. Also, these nerds. Scotch, it'll make you a better game master, or at least think that you're one.
I feel like last game we said don't drink in dungeon. I feel
Listen.
like that's
Did we though?
came up. Yeah, I'm pretty 100% sure that
Listen,
I think that was bad advice.
the
The
one
show's
before.
21 now.
Yeah, the episode can drink, and so I'm gonna.
the episode can drink.
Good stuff. Welcome to Adulthood, the show.
So when is there going to be the official Wizards? You start in a tavern, which is like D&D book set, and
That would be so
costumes.
good.
Someday, on the current fame trajectory of Dungeons & Dragons, someday we'll get a totally sweet D&D amusement park, and there will be a tavern, and it will be the first place you will be required to go
You have to
in
go
the
there.
amusement park.
Yeah.
That's where you get your tickets. Yeah, it's going to be a thing. It's going to be a whole thing. So hello, everybody. Hi, welcome back. For us, it's been a mere day since the last time we saw each other, so we'll skip all the horseshit. But for all of you in the audience, hello. Welcome to the show. For anybody who hasn't watched before, let's go around. We'll do the thing. Tell us about your character. Arcturus, start us off.
Hi, I'm Fishboy.
Yes. And would you like to tell
Oh,
us more?
sorry, there's more? Okay. My character's a Trident Tempest cleric, 5th level, Arcturus Vivaxeth. He's, real lawful and good. And tends to, blush really purple.
Important to know. Easily confounded, frustrated, but also kind of the moral compass of the group.
I mean, I don't know. Is the moral compass the average of the group? Because if so, I am like very far away
No,
from
that's
that.
what I'm saying. You're the one that's pulling the rest of the group in a particular direction morally. Everyone else is like a little soggier vis-a-vis their moral decisions,
Yeah.
which is fine. It's okay. That's fine. Yes, our cleric Arcturus. Below Arcturus in the overlay, you can see here, monkey mass murderer, fireball thrower, sorcerer extraordinaire. Dave, tell us about your character.
I mean, you covered all the main points, really.
I believe last session you got the achievement, kill 12 monkeys in one fireball.
It was 16 monkeys.
Was 16. Yeah, you
I
overdid
thought it was 6 billion.
16.
Yeah, right. That's my favorite indie comic book, Kill 6 Billion Monkeys. It's not as good as the way you might think.
Yeah.
Please, Dave, tell us more about Malik.
Sure. So to facilitate throwing fireballs at monkeys, we are a human sorcerer of draconic ancestry. The other very important point that Adam forgot to mention and has been written on my character sheet since the beginning is that he can fly and is immune to being shoved or grappled.
Right. Yeah. This is what happens when you just let your players write whatever they want on their character sheet.
Yeah, I saw that meme. I saw that.
Yeah, that's good. That's fine. That's not
What
true.
was it that you put on lanes? Because I didn't put any.
Oh, I can't
instincts
remember.
or-
Yeah, this is the thing that I do sometimes. If I'm in Roll20 and I'm doing GM stuff, I'll pop open people's character sheets and leave them secret messages. Yeah, I
Too
believe.
cool to,
Yeah, I believe.
tough to.
Yeah,
something like that.
exactly. Yeah, it was something like that. Too tough to live, too cool to die. Yeah. What is important to remember though, vis-a-vis Malik, this episode, initiative is an ability check. we had an in-depth conversation about whether or not initiative was an ability check. It sure as hell is. I have a new name for your character, Andrew. What was it? Anger Fluff, I believe, was the name chat gave us for your
Yes.
character.
Perfect.
So
It's not entirely wrong.
no, she is both fluffy and angry. Tell us about Little Fox.
She's a Furbolg barbarian. She's level 5. She likes animals and is very upset that 6 billion baboons were murdered. And now is probably going to have to go save a baboon murderer from a statue.
Yeah, and that's the real ethical quandary, right? Knowing the crime that Malik committed. What is worth more?
Yeah.
I guess it's a classic ethical dilemma, right? What is worth more, the lives of 16 monkeys you don't know, or the lives of one monkey murderer you do? What would you do? Ethical
Classic.
dilemma. Classic
It-
stuff.
So if you're at a rail switch and the trolley is going towards 16 baboons or Malik, who you know will murder the 16 baboons anyways, what do you do?
Elon Musk is having this exact problem programming automotive cars. Like how do they make that decision? Do you kill a car full of monkeys or one pedestrian? Who knows? Yep, it's good stuff. These are the kinds of exciting quandaries that we try to solve here on Roll20 Presents Tomb of Annihilation. It's Tomb of Moral Annihilation. Tell us about Ishi Snaggletooth, please. Just drag us back up from this moral morass.
Okay, well, you see, the thing here with Ishi Snaggletooth is she's a level 5 Battlemaster fighter and kobold
Yep.
and adorable.
This is it's true. It's on the character sheet.
Yeah.
It's written right there under alignment. Adorable.
So, yeah, chaotic good, by the way. Moral compass talk aside,
Mhm.
also good.
Chaotic good. Yes, unequivocally the best alignment.
I agree.
Yeah, thank you. Do you disagree, chat? Please go ahead and argue about alignment for the next 4 hours. You have my permission. Do it. But as for us, we have a show to run, so we're not going to be talking about alignment. We may see its effects on play, but right now we have a very important roll followed by either nothing or a series of considerably more important rolls. I love how we set up this great cliffhanger, which could very easily be nothing happens. But let's find out. So when we last left our heroes, you can see now on the screen the evidence of their baboonery. When we last left them, Malik had crossed a not insignificant gap over the gorge, the laughing gorge of Ataz Muhaha, and is standing next to an enormous stone statue, placed here in ancient times to defend the statue. And having subsequently examined it, he's headed back to his friends when the statue comes to life, which is some like classic D&D bullshit. Like, I feel like there are more statues in the world of the Forgotten Realms that come to life than ones that don't. Like
Well,
actual
let's see what
sculptors.
happens. Let's see what happens with these monkey statues first, because there's like at least 8 or 9 of them. Well, there's more than that of
Yes.
those. So, statistically, if we're talking like bigger statues, then I think you're probably right. But like the smaller ones,
I feel like
See,
as a person living in this world, I would just be like, nah, I'm not about that sculpture bullshit because it's going to try to strangle me or push me off a bridge or shoot lasers out of its eyes. That's a thing that happens a lot.
or like drop its
Yeah,
sword.
just no. Like, I'm just not into it. Like, I'm going to take up painting or something because animated paintings are much rarer.
You just need to start describing random statuary everywhere, and we'll be like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, I don't know."
Listen, it's either that
gee.
or it's evidence of a frickin' Medusa. It's one of those two things.
Yeah.
There's no one makes statues.
Or like a basilisk or whatever. Yeah.
Is that why the Masons are a secret society?
Right, exactly. Yeah, you got it.
Might
They
be
just
why.
Yeah, they make evil magic statues. All right. Well, let's do the thing. We're gonna roll initiative. Right now, let's just Malik and the Stone Golem roll initiative, and then once we've resolved that pairing, then we'll figure out the rest.
Malik and the Stone Golem is my Harry Potter spinoff.
Nice. Okay. So, Malik.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow!
I would like to see you beat that, Dave.
I can't roll. I mean, there you go.
That's somewhat of an anticlimax, but that's fine. It's all right.
Well, thanks for coming, everybody. Good episode. Nice one.
Hell of a cliffhanger. This is where like the writers were like, "Nah, we can't kill Malikoff yet. This statue's really slow. It's
Oh
fine."
God, we're the worst kind of TV show where it's like,
Yeah.
will Malik get pushed off the gore? Like, of course not. Of course
And
he
then of
won't.
course not.
Of
yeah.
course he won't. Well, all right, Malik. The Stone Golem very slowly begins to turn towards you. Can you just get off the bridge completely in this turn?
Yes, absolutely.
So 30 feet and then boop. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Just
dodge
engage.
action, move 30 feet, blink across the thing.
So yeah, the golem I think doesn't even turn from its post. This doesn't even become combat. You rush past it, end up on the other side of the bridge where Arcturus is, and the golem turns and then resumes its resting position atop the pedestal. The wind blows quietly through the gorge. You did not, get knocked down or fall or get killed.
Did that golem just try and grab you?
Yes, that was almost the most immediate turning around of karma that has ever been seen.
I didn't even really see it move very much. It was...
It may well have been an optical illusion. It may not have even moved at all. You there was a seeming brush with death, but you disengage from the golem, run off, and then blip back onto this.
Yeah, guys, do we go kill it for XP?
Well, I was gonna say, here's the question: does that count as having defeated the encounter?
Hell no.
No.
I mean,
all right. Well, we gotta kill it.
I mean,
No,
wait. Malik, you went to go see the statue. Was there anything interesting about it, or we just Little Fox was very insistent that we actually get something from this entire
and
mess.
Little Fox is carefully arranging all of the corpses on the side of the road.
Oh, wow. It's certainly a very lovely statue. I got a rubbing off of one of the labyrinthine patterns, I suppose, that adorned the plinth that it was on. Didn't find any specific historical significance except as an example of Chult architecture, sculpture.
Yeah, I mean, do you show the rest of the group the rubbing?
Yeah.
Okay. Arcturus, make a religion check.
Yeah, I can do that. That would be something that I would do. 10.
It looks, I mean, it's a circular labyrinth pattern. With a 10, you can tell that it's symbolically... Little Fox does not recognize it. It's symbolically similar to some of the other things you've seen. Certainly the people who built it as an homage to Ubtao.
Yeah, he's been referred to by people as the god of labyrinths.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can basically assume at this point, like if it's ancient and it's Chultan, chances are pretty good that it's a sacred image to Ubtao.
You know, you'd think that with this god abandoning his people, they might have, I don't know, defaced or destroyed more of these statues than they seem to have done. But perhaps they still hope for his return.
Now I just imagine Arcturus keying his dad's speedboat after dad left for fish cigarettes and never came back.
It's awfully vengeful of you.
Dead
gods are a difficult thing for people to deal with.
Not dead.
Ways.
The Ubtao did not die.
Could be.
He just left. I mean, I'm not informed as to the whereabouts of the god at this moment. No.
Well, and so Malik, this is an interesting point. Arcturus is from a place that has likely not had the tumultuous relationship with the coming and goings of gods as you and people native to the Forgotten Realms have, right? Toril has a long and storied history of gods dying, mortals becoming gods, gods exchanging power. There's a lot of that, but it sounds like Arcturus doesn't have that experience.
Yeah, my homeland is very rife with examples of this kind of thing happening. I mean,
truly,
the gods and with the dragons in there is probably why I am who I am. So there's probably still lingering effects and affectations, even if he's not here and has active clerics, I suppose.
And I feel like Arcturus would definitely be like, "Oh, let's talk all about this." But are we just gonna stand here by the bridge, or is anyone
the smoldering ape corpses?
Yeah, is anyone gonna like make to leave, or because like I will just go on about this with Malik forever, probably.
Hang on. Wait, did you say something about Ubtao with this thing?
I say, like,
Yes.
thumbing towards the statue.
Yes, it appears to be some kind of religious artifact in his.
So far, the solution to everything involving Ubtao that has Ubtao related to it is to just yell his name really loud. So maybe.
We don't think that we could solve it. It tried to kill me and it failed.
Well, the
don't wanna
more
know why
insurmountable, obstacle is this 20-foot gap. Malik can just appear on the other side, but we cannot do the same. So, do we truly want to cross this only to return again? We are on the correct side of the river for where we need to go, according to the map.
Right.
So what you're saying is make this golem a tomorrow problem rather than a today problem.
Perhaps.
Yeah, the goblin. The golem seems like its purpose is to guard the bridge, but not all that aggressively. Like once you ran past it, it seems to just have gone back to sleep.
I mean, I guess we should probably go. I see no reason to harass the Ubtao statue, even though I kind of want its eyes. They look very valuable.
They're pretty shiny. But the golem isn't going anywhere. So yeah, if you wanted to return to Ataz Muhaha later, that's certainly
My
possible.
only thought is if we leave it now and we come back and it's gone, we're gonna look pretty dumb.
I doubt anyone will steal that large of a statue.
It can move.
It'll be really awkward when you get back to Port Nyanzaro and it's sitting there having a drink and you're like, hey man, how you doing? And he's just like, I was waiting for you.
Okay.
I mean, we could perhaps just attack it from range until it is not active and then go take its eyes, or
I have a feeling that
I could strike it with lightning.
Isn't that
forever.
gonna bring the whole bridge down? It's made of stone. What's lightning gonna do?
I don't know. I've never tried it.
If whatever, leave it. Come on. Let's go. Let's get out of here. I'm like,
Just pushing Little Fox. Like, everybody, let's go.
Well, yeah. Meanwhile, in the background, Little Fox has like finished, like
Oh,
Digging tiny monkey graves.
making little baboon piles. I don't know. You don't like bury animals; they don't care.
It's true.
So she just has like laid them out in a row so that Malik has to walk past them one more time.
Wow. Cold.
And then yes, we resume.
Just one tiny thing that we should address.
Mhm.
You probably won't be happy with me for bringing this up, Little Fox, but things come back to life here.
And she just glares at you and then walks
Okay.
away.
I mean, they're already like they were killed by fire.
Yeah, the
Things come
problem
back to life.
had been solved previously by burning corpses, and these ones are pretty burnt.
Yeah, they're already.
Having a look at them, Malik, yeah, you figure there's probably not enough of them to come back.
Is
it is
there
prudent.
still the rule in D&D with like if you do double something's HP, it just like insta dies?
Yes, yeah. There's
Okay, well, we definitely did that to all these baboons.
yeah.
so
These things like
obliterated.
these are the kinds of things that, not to put too fine a point on it, you couldn't like scoop up an individual body in your arms because it would just crumble. You'd need a wheelbarrow to move these corpses around, and you'd lose track of which bits belong to what monkey. So like this is a shovel situation. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
It probably won't even attract scavengers because all the meat is just roasted to ash.
so how about that? Leaving the monkey corpse.
So, Monkey Corpse Party. You know, Ataz Muhaha really lived up to its name. What a laugh riot this was.
Oh yeah.
So
Ha 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 ha.
talk to me about your plan, map folks. So you're heading towards Kirsabal, right? But you want to go down the river?
I believe alongside. We wanted to investigate all of those.
Oh, so you want to go through like this area?
Yeah.
Yeah, specifically not.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, so we're gonna do a little jungle adventure. All right. So this was one day, essentially, Ataz Muhaha. So that night, everybody eat rations, or someone can go hunting in the jungle.
I'll eat rations.
Okay.
Bella, please stop forever.
Okay, so mark off rations. The weather overnight goes from, ooh, look, it's another dry and sunny patch. So the rain of the previous day clears up, and instead we have, actually it wasn't raining. It just stays dry and sunny for a second day in a row. Damn. All right, so Ishi, still the ache in your head, the hateful sun, Lathander's
It's okay.
lights.
I saw a cool statue of me like some days
That's
ago.
true.
So
That's very true.
It's fine. I'm living off the
Still-
glory. The
Still
former-
riding that high.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Arcturus, are you gonna bless Little Fox and Malik to do the wayfinding? Nice. All right. So roll with advantage, and this is at a +10 because you have 7 to your skill, right, Little Fox?
Yeah.
Okay, +10 total.
Or sorry, no. Sorry, I have 6.
You have 6. Okay, so it's a 9. Okay. All right. So advantage, 9 total at normal pace. And what hex are you heading into? This one or that one?
I
If we
guess we
go
go-
directly south, do we get a bonus for having the river or something? that we
No,
can
because
see?
you're not actually traveling on the river. You're up on the side.
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll cut diagonally and then start going straight down.
Okay, and cut in. All right.
Yeah.
So traveling in the
Hex.
jungle. Okay, and let's see how the day goes. All right. So, all right. Okay. So you head out into the jungle, and for the first 2/3 of the day, you don't have any encounters. It's hot and sunny and sweaty. There's bugs, and it's the jungle. And Arcturus, you're getting further away from the water. And I think that as the evening comes, as evening starts, and the sun begins to come down, you hear in the distance through the brush, you hear the rustling like of brush, and then you hear a shouting of a voice in common, and the voice is saying, "I don't care how, get me down." Well, yes, I'm aware that it's a trap now. Thank you. No, just cut it.
Does
Well,
it sound familiar?
Maybe.
Does it sound like Artis?
Possibly. It's at a
That
distance.
sounded like your
That
Artis.
sounded like artists. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
Listen to see if it's actually sounds like Artis, and then can I make a perception check or something to see if it is what I think it is as a player?
I mean, I think you can make the conclusions you're making. I think that's probably reasonable.
It could also be Lathander Paladin guy, I guess.
No, I mean, this is someone having a one-sided conversation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he continues,
He did-
right? Where he's like,
He did that a lot too.
well, just use the sword. Well, yeah, the sword that you have. I know it's for killing undead, but in this instance, you think maybe you could use it to cut me down? Nope, fine. I'll just hang here forever. That's fine. Quest is over. I guess I'm just going to hang by 1 foot for the rest of my natural life, which I have to remind you is forever.
What do I see when I emerge into the whatever space where this is happening? Because
Yeah,
Fox just goes.
I'm definitely just going as well.
You see a familiar-looking Sorial leaning against a tree, looking up as smugly as his Sorial face can manage at, yes, Artis Cimber, hanging upside down by
What
1
does it
foot.
smell like?
Hanging upside down by 1 foot from a vine that has been formed into some sort of primitive snare. I don't think you're close enough to smell.
Oh, I want to know what smug smells.
No.
Bella, can you not right now?
So yeah, Little Fox, you come out of the brush, and Dragonbait turns and puts his hand on his sword, and then he sees you, and all he does is shrug and just point with one thumb at Artis, who's hanging upside down. Who he's got his back to you right now, and he's like, who's that? Who's there? Is it Zentarum? I warn you, I'm a mighty wizard. Don't you? And he spins slowly around. He's doing that thing where he's whipping his arms around to try to spin, and then he sees the group of you, and he's like, oh. Hey guys.
Do you?
Yes.
We
Wilcox
probably
does the like henchman shrug back at Dragonbait, just like
Are you,
"Yeah, that's how it goes."
Are you having a little trouble there, artist?
No, we got it. We got it under control. Peck, everything's fine.
So you don't mind if I just like keep going? We're just headed that way.
Hey, I mean, it's like, why are you in such a hurry? I mean, night's gonna fall soon, and we could all sit down and have a meal and just get caught up as soon as I get myself down from here. Which I'm doing. I'm in the middle of it. Just
we wouldn't really need to catch up if you hadn't have left us at Orlunga in the first place.
Listen, there was magic involved, and I gotta tell you, I'm a little dizzy from all this spinning around, and all the blood's going to my head. So
Can't you use that fancy dagger?
and he's like, well, and he like reaches up for his boot, and he's like, and he looks down, and you can see his bag is open, and all of his stuff is just in a pile under him.
Get it, Ish.
Oh, look what we have here. All the things that you promised me that I went back to talk to Volo about.
So Ishi, as you start moving towards the pile, Dragonbait puts his hand on your shoulder like, we can make fun of artists, but we're not going to steal from him.
I'm not going to take his stuff. I just want to make him mad.
How high up is Artis?
Like 20 feet.
Damn, like real high up
Yeah,
there.
he's
Okay.
hanging like quite high in the
Little
in the
Fox
brush.
is gonna climb the tree. She goes up to the tree, inclines her head, murmurs, like asking it nicely for permission to climb it, or like, begging its forgiveness for climbing it, and then like hauls herself up into it and is gonna go get him.
All right, yeah. So he's hanging by 1 foot, about 5 feet down from the branch the snare is looped over. He watches you climb, and he's like, finally, somebody here to save me.
And yeah, she just like hauls him up by the rope of the snare.
Okay.
And then like holding him still upside down, like brings him up to her level and then like flips him over.
Yeah, he manages to turn himself over and just kind of like holds on to you as you climb down from the tree. And you get him down, and he jumps out of your arms, like brushes himself off. Well, that's better. How's everybody doing?
I mean, that was a good way to do it, little fuck. I was just going to shoot an arrow at the rope until I got it.
Yeah. Similar thoughts here, Ishi.
It's like, well, good. I'm on the ground. No one had to break their neck. And we're fine. And no thanks to you, you dumb lizard. And Dragonbait just shakes his head like, I hate you. You're an idiot. And he brushes himself off, and he says, so, what brings you out to the middle of literally nowhere?
Well, we looked around Mesro for you for like 3 days.
I nearly died.
Yeah, that'll happen in Chult. Like a lot. Get used to it.
I meant in Mesro, but yeah.
Well, I mean, Mesro's in Chult, right?
I think more the question than what we're up to is what you're doing. Because we were under the assumption that we were going to like do things helpfully together, and then you disappeared. So
listen, you have to understand that what the sage at Orlunga told me, I didn't have any choice. I had to leave. And this little reunion, this is only temporary. We're going to go our separate ways. It's for the best. You got to trust me on this.
But what if we're both going to the same place?
I promise we're not. Wherever you're going is not where I'm going. And if you find out that we're going to the same place, I'm going to change where I'm going. Listen, I'm on what you call a quest, all right? And this quest puts me constantly in the path of danger. And if it's not the Zentarum and the Priests of Bane, it's frost giants, or cults of Oral, or, I don't know, goblins. Let's say goblins. I have a long list of people who want to see me dead so that they can get the Ring of Winter. And I'm not going to let that happen. And as long as anybody I care about, no offense, big guy, is anywhere near me, they're in trouble. And I just can't let that happen. I like you too much, Peck. You and your weird friends.
okay, but you still owe me.
Right. Yeah. And like I said, once all this stuff is sorted out, I will pay all of the debts that I owe you. I mean, that's how these things go.
To me, like this is never going to be sorted. You're talking about like 100 enemies.
And also, you can live, as you just mentioned, forever, and we cannot. Our timelines are a little
Listen,
different.
if you're so worried about me paying you back for all of the good deeds you've done, just go back to Port Nyanzaru. I don't know, meet a nice man kobold and have some kobold babies. And if you do end up dying of old age before your old buddy Artist Simber's done with his quest, I don't know, pay out your kids or your kids' kids or whatever. I'm a man of my word. Am I not a man of my word? And Dragon Mage is just like setting up camp, and he just kind of shake. He doesn't even look. He's just like, I don't even, this guy.
She's like a little bit lost for words because like that's not how it works.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like
A bit of an aside, Artis. Do you know what's the name of that statue? One second, let me grab it.
Statue
the
of a
lady. The statue of the lady. I think we've already
Malik would know the answer to this, but the
Like
rest of
Ray-
you
No, because Malik didn't Malik say something?
We talked about it, yeah.
Yeah, I was looking on because you wrote it in the
I
chat.
remember that the last name was Rayburn.
Uh-huh. The first name should be easy to remember because it's basically your Burning Wheel character's name.
Alessandra?
Her name is Alessandra.
Alessandra Ray Burton.
Yep.
Yes, so yeah, that's what I ask Artis. I say a bit of an aside, but would you know who Alessandra Ray Burton is?
Nope. Never heard of him.
Her.
He shrugs. Sorry.
So Little Fox has pestered Malik for the map,
Uh-huh.
like our map, and then is like gets Artis's attention and like points on the map, and the whole thing like crumples under her big finger. And she's pointing at where we saw the frost giant ship.
Oh,
and
yeah.
She says the word for frost giant in giant, like whatever their actual like native language
And
name for them is.
So this is to Artis?
To Artis, yeah.
And
she
Artis looks at it and
gestures with her hand
Yeah.
to indicate a very tall person.
And he's like, what? It's the coast.
And she like has to think for a minute about like the non-giant word for them, and then it's like frost giants. And like taps the map. Big boat.
He nods. He's like, uh-huh. That's where their boat's at, huh?
Yeah.
We and he looks over at Dragonbait, and Dragonbait just like shivers a little. He says, yeah, we ran into a couple of them. And by ran into, I mean ran away from up north about half a week ago.
Yeah, and she nods, like, 'cause to her this is a familiar topic and one that's very serious. She's just like, yep, they're nasty.
Yeah.
So she just nods.
They're here for me, and they have some kind of magical something or other that seems to be pointing them at me. So, that means they're on their way here. And if you don't like enormous Vikings, then probably best that we camp now and we go our separate ways. It's not because I don't like you. I like you a great deal, and that's why we have to not ever hang out ever again.
Yeah, and Little Fox just nods. Like,
Yeah,
that
right?
makes sense to her. Yeah.
But what about like strength in numbers and all that stuff? We can help.
Listen, I'm going to level with you. And he like kneels down. If we end up in a situation with, I don't know, red wizards, for example, I'm pretty convinced that I'm going to be okay on account of the evil magical artifact and everything. And I'm pretty sure this guy, he points at Dragonbait, also going to be okay. Blessed by the gods, enormous sword. It's you people I'm worried about. I have had, as you can probably imagine, enough friends die in my life. Not the
I
ones
am
that
also. No, sorry, you can go ahead.
Not the ones you wouldn't mind dying. Valo is still alive. But the people I really care about, they just seem to disappear on me. And just trust me, you are much safer at as great a distance as you can get from old cursed Artist Simber, okay?
Okay, but
No, listen, we are done talking about this. And he gets up and like storms away.
I remember a cage that I found you
I
in.
have to pee and I don't talk while I pee. And he like walks off into the bushes.
Why not?
Arcturus mumbles like under his breath, I am also blessed by God. Like,
We don't want anything to do with this.
Yeah,
Okay.
Little Fox shrugs and starts setting up camp.
Okay, fine. Everybody says that we're not, but fine.
Yep. So he wanders off into the jungle for a little while. Not quite long enough for someone to be like, oh, we should go check on him, but long enough that he's obviously just like having a sulk out in the jungle. And if no one follows him or anything, it leaves the rest of you to make camp and rest for the night. Okay.
I'm definitely tempted to follow him, but I think the conversation is kind of over.
Yeah, I mean, he certainly indicated that it was over.
Yeah.
And then eventually he comes back and he does that thing that people who are non-confrontational do, where he just pretends like you never had the conversation at all. Like he just comes back and he's talking about like, so, do you get a chance to go back to Port Nien's art? Like, just completely conversational.
Okay, here's the question though, Adam.
Yeah.
Like, how good of a stealth and or sleight of hand check do I need to steal some shit from him? Because he's never gonna pay me back.
I feel like it's not that he doesn't want to. It's just that like he doesn't have what he promised on him, right? He can't give you.
Does he have anything? Yeah, that we would consider to be of value.
I mean, like
other than his cool magic items.
He has his knife and stuff, but yeah, he's not carrying like money. He's not here to go on like treasure quests.
I don't want to take something that he's gonna like realize that I
don't want to take a plot relevant item.
Well, you can. I mean, if that's the thing is, you could try to steal his dagger, but I guarantee later you'll find his corpse with his like ring missing, and there'll be a note pinned to his chest that says, "If only he had his magic dagger when it really mattered."
Okay, all right.
They travel pretty light. Yeah, they just have their magic items. And...
I won't steal.
So Little Fox hands
he's definitely got rations. I'm gonna steal some of those.
Little Fox hands him like a bowl of whatever like camp stew she has made when he comes back, and doesn't like look at him or say anything, but just like takes care of him in that little way and then leaves it.
Yeah, he takes it and he takes the bowl and he looks at you and he smiles and he looks over at Dragonbait and he's like, she cooked for me. Why don't you ever cook for me? We never do anything fun anymore. I don't think you even love me. And he just starts eating it. And Dragonbait is just like, you can tell that Artis is like putting on a bit of a show for you, and Dragonbait is the way you can tell that, because Dragonbait just keeps rolling his eyes like, stop eating like this. Like, stop showing off in front of your friends. And yeah, so he takes the bowl and he just like hangs out and talks to you, and yeah.
Does he tell us anything relevant to like Mesro?
Does he know rumors?
No, he's really good. He's really good at not talking about anything important. Like he's explicitly just kind of being like random story about a time he was in Neverwinter, or like this one Kalashite girl that he was in love with when he was a kid, and like all these like nothing stories. Nothing of consequence.
It's rare that he gets an opportunity to have this kind of interaction, so I'm sure he is leaning into that and doesn't want to be like, yes, more epic fantasy stuff.
You can see why him and Volo would be friends, because he's been around forever, has a ton of stories, and the two of them probably spend entire nights talking and not listening to one another at all. They're both just big showy talkers, and
then there was the time that I went to the Neverwinter.
Neverwinter? I've been to Neverwinter. Let me tell you. Yeah,
I knew a guy twice as bad.
I spent some of the time doing the same thing, but at him.
Right.
Because Ishi has a lot of nonsense that she could spout as well.
Yeah, so, definitely.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of that.
So in the morning, he doesn't like disappear on you. Like he's there and they're packing up their stuff, and so he's sort of finally getting his bag on, tightening the straps and stuff. The weather today is heavy rain. So the clouds have rolled in, miserable rain pounding down on the jungle, and I think Artis looks at you and there's this awkward like, time to say something clever, but I'm actually having some feelings. All right, well, good luck in the jungle. Don't get killed or poisoned or malaria. Bye.
Pushed off a bridge.
and I guess we kind of walk away, and I turn around and I just go, next time I find you, you better not be trapped or hanging or in a box or any of that stuff.
And he says, as he's walking off, he's like, well, if I end up in prison again, I know who to pray to this time.
Yeah, me.
And the two of them head off into the
I want to just a really quick thing. Like, I maybe hang back so I can speak very quietly to him. Just like a word or two, and I say, we put some more flowers by the statue.
He pauses. This is something that you said to him like before he left, but he at that time he paused and he looked at you for a moment, just the briefest second, and then he said, "Yeah, flowers. All right." Like, I don't know what you're talking about, but there was that moment of hesitation, and then
yeah, I just put a hand like on his shoulder and then just like walk past him.
Yeah, cool. All right, off into the jungle.
Fast forward, and Ishi's like, "You could pray to me." I'm like, "That's actually, rather sacrilegious and probably won't be effective."
Yeah, but he won't pray to me anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, so y'all are heading which way now? South from here?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, I think the current routing is going to be to go directly south and then cut over.
Okay, sure.
As would take us to Kirsabal's hex.
I mean, do we want to do that, or do we want to do down, right, up, and just like actually get every single one?
That's gonna take forever.
I don't want to do all the extra
Let's
faffing about.
Let's just gun it through.
Yeah, I don't know if we have enough rations.
I've already eaten 10 rations out of the 21 that I have available.
Mm-hmm.
I want it.
That said, if Arcturus were to swap to the food spell, that would be a welcome thing also.
No, I can definitely do that if we're planning on making this a
I don't want to clear all the hexes, but I think it would be good to do that so that we have more when we head out.
Like do a little diagonal run this way.
I do want to do all the hexes. I really want to do all the hexes. Every single.
You know how long that's gonna take?
Overruled, Dave. Overruled.
Yeah, I don't think we're doing every hex, Dave. I'm sorry.
Okay,
You might be able to get because I mean, if you scroll down slightly, that's a lot of damn hexes.
Yeah, there are so many hexes. Look, we can do a sweep once I have the elk totem thing that lets us move.
Okay.
Far.
Yes.
We'll try to sweep more.
Efficiency, then I'll be with you on that. We'll just
Okay.
never get.
Listen, Dave, if you want a platinum trophy this adventure, it's going to take a lot of time and energy.
It's many hours.
All right.
And we all have to want it.
I have prepared great food and water.
Okay, awesome.
Here's the thing, Dave. Once you're hella OP and your 20th level, you can just one run this 4-man dungeon and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Do the whole adventure by yourself.
Fine for transmogs.
All right, so you're gonna change your spells out, Arcturus, so you can do food and water.
Yeah. So
no one needs to worry about rations anymore until.
And
that
I'll
changes.
just be permanently down one spell slot.
All right, so let's have you roll your blessing, and we'll see what happens.
Okie dokie.
So 6 + 2, we got 8 bonus to spells. Normal pace. The weather is not enough to cause disadvantage. It is rainy as heck. You have 150-foot max sight, so you won't come across anything until it's that distance. And you're traveling through the jungle. All right, my friends. So you're going to carry on southward. And in this day, in the morning, something happens. Let me take a look at the details of this encounter, and then I'll tell you what it is.
It's Simba again.
Yeah, he's like, oh, this is awkward. We already said goodbye, and you followed me, and oh, boy.
Now I'm trapped in another snare.
Yeah. Okay. So, no, you encounter an unusual creature or multiple creatures. Let me just roll to see. Actually, can someone roll a d4 for me while I'm doing this?
I got my
There we go,
Dave's
Dave's doing it.
Oh, too slow.
Did you get Dave 2? Okay. All right. So
OJ and Dave both rolled 2. So
you and these
that was
creatures,
before.
you and these creatures spot each other simultaneously. There's a pair of them, and they are mounted on they have these kind of dog or I guess they're canine shaped mounts. I think I have a handout to show you what they look like, and then we can.
What fresh hell is this?
Yeah, pretty much. Let me take a look here. Player handouts, creatures and monsters. Scroll on down. There's a handout for basically every monster, which is actually kind of cool because I can describe it, but it's also fun to look at. You see some of these little guys. And they're little plant men. And you see
plants.
You see them mounted on their little fungoid guys. They have spears. And you see the rustling of the bushes, and then you see the two of them come out into the rain, and they're like looking around, and they spot you and like start. What are you gonna do? You're 150 feet away from them. There's just two of them.
Vaguely humanoid shaped.
Can you
I'm not going to. I want to, but I'm not going to. I promised.
They look like. Can you talk to? I mean, Little Fox, you can talk to regular plants. Maybe I don't know. Could try.
Yeah, so we have this like awkward moment.
It's like standoff where you all kind of like look at each other.
Yeah. And she'll say a greeting in Sylvan.
Okay. Now whatever you say, plants can understand you.
Yes, I can speak to plants and animals.
Okay, so they can understand you whatever language you're speaking. One of them,
if they count as plants, then yes.
Yeah, they're plants. One of them, a sort of like ventral sac or something inflates, and then when it exhales, essentially, there are frond-like kind of gill things in its throat that vibrate and make a series of warbling kind of like tonal noises that you think is probably its language.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Make a charisma save, Little Fox.
All right, I have advantage on it. No, because it's a save. Do you mean like a charisma check to influence?
No, because this is like I'm essentially doing the basic D&D.
This is like the basic D&D thing, right?
Yeah, just to set the tone to see if they're like hostile or whatever.
Do you want to factor in my thing where I normally have advantage on charisma checks? Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Plant life.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's reasonable.
Okay. Cool. So this is with advantage. I got a 13.
Okay. All right. They're hesitant. They're not like certain what to think of you. They appear to be like, investigating the area or like scouting out. And they both kind of like look at each other, and you don't respond. The other one makes a lower, like vibrating sound with its vocal fronds, but you don't understand it.
And yeah, she'll continue, still speaking in Sylvan as she does. She's like, I'm not sure what you're saying, but we're not here to hurt you. We're just passing through. We want to go to Kirsabal, and she just like points kind of generally in the direction that she knows Kirsabal is in.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Where the bird people live. That's all.
Yeah, one of them, when you point, looks behind it over its shoulder. The other one keeps looking at
what?
you. Yeah, keeps looking at you. And then they makes a series of sounds at each other. And then one of them kind of like pulls on the vines that are growing out of the back of its mount. And the mount rears up slightly and then turns. And then the two of them scamper off into the bushes to the south.
And Little Fox looks back at the group and shrugs.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they are like out of eye shot or whatever, Arcturus is just going on like a huge nerd, like their language is absolutely fascinating. I wonder if perhaps I could imitate the noises because, gills.
Oh my God, are you trying?
Oh God, probably, yes. Once they leave, not when they're here.
Yeah, Arcturus.
I'm not
like hover sounds. Like,
yeah.
I was gonna say Arcturus is making sounds that sound like a soft serve ice cream machine. This is weird buzzing, humming noise. Like you're trying to make a noise with your nose and your mouth at the same time, and it's not really working.
No, I'm trying to make noise with my gills that don't actually make noise.
Yeah.
You're trying to flutter your gills.
I'm like, like pushing air out of them, but I can't it's like trying to learn how to whistle.
Yeah. Totally.
But like, yeah, it's
cool. Well, Little Fox and Arcturus, actually, if everybody doesn't already have inspiration between the last scene and this one, make sure you've marked it.
I have it now. Very good.
Likewise.
Yeah. So yeah, they dash off either out of fear or because they're like, okay, we've seen the thing that we need to see.
You didn't understand what they were saying back, but you could speak to them? Is that how this works?
And again, Little Fox just like shrugs. She's like, I don't fucking know. Yeah, she just shrugs and says, talk to all things. They mostly understand.
Okay. Well, thank you for sparing us that. Whatever they was.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
And yeah, Little
You're
Fox is like a
gone
little
now.
bit spooked, and she'll keep leading the group, but she wants to be a little more careful now in case we are going to get fucking ambushed by these things.
Yeah, that was the thing. If they're like forward scouts, that could be more complicated.
don't
Yeah.
worry. Don't worry, little fox. I am staying alert.
And as she finishes saying alert, she like trips over a root.
Yeah, and you like fall over and land in some mud. Awesome.
While Arcturus is walking, he's trying to like draw these things in his journal. So he's probably also not very alert.
I mean, I do have a base passive perception of 16.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right, so you continue the rest of the day, and the afternoon, the evening, nighttime, they're all calm after that. When you rest, everybody gets 125 experience for diffusing those veggie pygmies. And now you
Wait, they were going to explode?
Yes, they were. Yeah, that's weird. You talked them down from exploding. No,
So sorry, that was 125.
125. Yeah. Yeah. If there's actually, I can't remember if 5e has this, but if there is like a proper procedure for determining initial reaction, like the 2d6 roll in basic D&D, if anybody knows where that is, where the rules are for that in 5e, please let me know, because I would love to use them. I don't think I've ever seen them anywhere, but if they exist, it's possible I might have just missed them. All right, so you rest. Everybody eats the magical food conjured by Arcturus, and the dry and sunny weather continues. The ongoing brutality of the sun. So this hex, continuing south or going southeast?
We're just going to go directly south.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And Istitia blesses our journey directly south.
Sure does. All right. So skill bonus is 9 this time, or 10? 10 because it's a plus
10
4.
this time, yeah.
Hell yeah. Normal pace through the jungle. Onward, brave venturers, to the south. All right. This day passes without event. So there you go. You continue what you believe to be south, and make your way through the jungle.
What you believe to be south is it's not my favorite statement.
No, I know, right? It's like it appears to be inert. You don't think the gun is loaded. So you continue. Let's do another day. Let's keep it going. So
Okay.
weather for the next day is rainy, so not a problem for you anymore, Ishi. Thank Kirtle Mac.
Hooray! Praise Colonel Mac. Sorry,
Who?
praise Colonel Mac.
Who's Curdle Mac?
Kirtle Mac is the god of the kobolds.
Istitia doesn't think we're going south either.
Kirtle Mac is the reason that kobolds and gnomes hate each other, because the gnome god, Garl Glittergold, pulled a trick on the kobolds, and now
Yeah.
they hate him.
Yeah.
All right, Istitia not being very helpful today, but that's okay. You got advantage. So plus 7, normal pace, through the jungle. And this is continuing south, hexward.
Yeah, the plan is just a straight line south until we're at the line where we go diagonally to Kirsabal, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that makes sense to me. So you're heading this way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So that morning, you're heading along, and I think you're just moving through the jungle. The rain has started to kick up, and so all of the weather has, like, it's still hot, but it's not as hot, but it's a lot muggier than it was before. And what's everybody's passive perception? It's 16 is the highest in the party, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, mine is 13.
Also
Mine's
13.
10.
Mine's 16, yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's rainy, but you've got a pretty good line of sight on this. I think that what happens is you see I guess probably some footprints first. And then you see signs of a struggle. Maybe some blood on the ground, blood on some of the leaves. You see a discarded weapon, a broken shield, and as you're traveling, yeah, this is the site that you come upon. Do you want to stop? Take a look around.
Looks like something happened here. I wonder how long ago.
Did you change the map?
No.
Pointing at
Oh, I think he was just saying the description is what we see.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
thought it.
I just
thought
wanted to give
he
you. I
changed
wanted
the
to give
map
you a
too.
chance to like react to what you just saw.
pointing at like the whole deal. You're like,
Should we stop and take a look around? Maybe
Perhaps.
they left some stuff.
Perhaps.
Yeah, and little Fox is already like touching the ground and like looking for tracks and smelling things.
Mm-hmm. Like you do.
Yeah.
well, you said something about like a discarded shields and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
that.
Like somebody dropped their weapon or they were killed, but there's no bodies.
Can I look at the gear that's like on the ground, the stuff that they've dropped, like for any identifying marks or
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Make an
like,
investigation
tell me
check.
who they would be. Yeah. Investigation 12.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it looks like the shield is the first shield you pick up. It's a circular shield. It's broken. So there's little slats of wood, and this is one of those like, oh, here's a slat, and you're like, nope, they don't go in this order. And then eventually you get them in a shield shape on the ground, and they're spread out in the mud, and you can see a flaming fist on the back of the shield. You also notice now that you look up, maybe Little Fox is holding a scrap of like red cloth.
Oh, I know what happened here. I know what this is. This is like those two groups of humans fighting. The fist guys, I say, pointing at the shield, the flaming fist, and that looks like some red, so I don't know anybody who wears a whole bunch of red except for those guys we ran into at the camp. Righteous. Vengeance. I
I
don't know.
heard rumors of wizards who wear red or are described as red. Perhaps their skin is red. It's hard to know.
No, they would wear red, and it would be robes.
Well, that looks like it could be that then, right?
Either way, I don't think either group of them really had a good time of it.
No,
We
but
should-
nobody's dead. There's no bodies anywhere.
I mean, but also the dead tend to not stay that way.
So when you say that, when you're like, the dead tend not to stay that way, you hear a faint moaning, and you look up at one of the bushes as it rustles, and a shambling, partly naked corpse staggers out, and then you hear more moaning around you as more bodies come out of the shadows and out of the jungle towards you.
And
you're-
Arcturus like points at them.
Yeah, right. And then as soon as like this is where we're gonna take our break. So as you look up, you see these shambling forms coming towards you. We'll go to break, and when we come back, we'll roll initiative, and we'll see how these zombies they do against the might of our beloved PCs.
We really are like that worst TV show kind of like
Yeah.
dun, 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 advertisement as the danger happens. Then when we come back in, there's a recap of the same scene.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a Saturday morning cartoon. It's all good. Stick around for some commercials about sugary breakfast cereals and things you're gonna want to make your parents buy for you. We'll be right back.